Hello, and welcome to day 10. Today we're going to talk about something that we can all agree is amazing, but none of us get enough of, and that's sleep. Sleep is something that we're not making a priority. In the 1980s, people were sleeping on average of 8.5 hours per night. Now that number has dropped dramatically to 7 hours per night. And that extra hour and a half might not seem like a lot, but your brain needs that extra time to restore. Because when you go to sleep at night, your brain's cells actually shrink by up to 60% and get much smaller. And when that happens, only if you get enough sleep, 8 hours, then cerebral spinal fluid comes and goes into the grooves of your brain and clears out all those dirty toxic proteins that have accumulated throughout your day. Because your brain is like a machine and it creates waste. Like any machine, it creates this excess material that needs to be cleared out. And sleep helps you do that. So if you don't take that extra time to sleep enough, 8 hours on average per night, 10 if you're like me, then your brain will actually wake up dirty. You'll have a dirty brain if you don't sleep enough. And another amazing thing that can happen is you can problem solve throughout your night. There's one amazing study that looked at two different groups. One group was given a maze and given 8 hours of daytime conscious thought to think about how to complete that maze before they got another shot at it. When they got the extra shot at it after those 8 hours of awake time, only 30% solved the puzzle. But if people were shown that puzzle right before they went to sleep and then shown that same puzzle again after 8 hours of sleep, 60% of those people solve the puzzle, right? So what I'm trying to tell you is that if you make sleep a priority, you get better at problem solving. Your brain heals a little bit better, and you're just able to kind of get on with your day, to worry less because your brain's fixed through and work through some of your problems. There's a really important study that looked at depression and sleep. And if you get a regular sleep schedule and you take something called the Hamilton Depression Scale, and you say you're very depressed, you're at 50 on that scale, you'll actually go down 6 points if you start having a regular sleep pattern. Just to compare and contrast that, if you start on antidepressants for 6 months, your score will only go down 1.6 points. So sleep is 6 times more likely to help your depression than antidepressants, which is really cool. It's nature's medicine to get sleep. Yeah. Your brain is not meant really to be up all the time, which our culture wants you to do. Be overstimulated through phones, Netflix, Instagram, social media, all these things that keep us up and keep us kind of wired, right? But when we take the time to kind of get enough sleep, then our brain will be able to restore itself. Endurance really isn't about persisting through something, it's about restoring and bringing yourself back down to baseline at all the time. But we have all these things that keep us up. You know, these screens that emit blue light, which our brains actually think is daylight, so they'll keep us up longer. We have this accelerated kind of speed of which things go, and we're always trying to compensate for not doing enough in our day, going from A to B to C to D. So what I'm trying to tell you is cut down on your TV. When you feel tired, go to sleep, and just make sleep more of a priority. And it's the quickest, easiest, most cost-effective thing you can do to improve your life, right? So for today's self-reflection, we're going to look at a sleep hygiene list, something that goes through a checklist of what you're doing and not doing to get the best sleep possible. That's all I have for today. Thanks a bunch for listening. Take care, and I'll see you tomorrow.